Welcome to Two Women, One Heart. We're Annika and Elizabeth. Two women remembering, unlearning, rediscovering, and returning to ourselves, not as teachers, but as co creators. Practicing what it means to live awake, to choose presence, and to soften into truth even when life has its challenges. This is a space for honest, heart centered conversations about love, consciousness, and the sacred experiment of being human. Since every moment gives us another chance to choose how we want to live, we're exploring what it means to make those choices from our truest selves and not our fear. We're so glad you're here and we hope you'll come back often. For now, take a breath, soften, and let's begin.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just guided me through a little drop-in again, which we've talked about on other calls.
Mm.
But what I think is so interesting is you will always ask me, "Can you feel that? Is that the way it is?" And I'll always say, "No, no, no, I don't." But that was really funny because in my mind, while you were doing that, I almost had a vision of like leaves unfurling and kind of like turning themselves towards the sun and roots kind of going into the ground. And you were like, "Oh, you're so rooted." You said something about being rooted. And I was like, "Okay, I am tuning in. Like I am feeling
Yeah.
it. I get it differently." And I think that's just something to acknowledge and appreciate is we're not all going to feel it or sense it or see it or experience it in the same way. I get a lot of pictures in my head, and I know you get a lot of sensations.
Oh,
I get a lot of words.
yeah. So good. I love that because it's like I have these here gatherings and I say words, but they're in transmission. So I just say how I translate it how I see it. No one there is experiencing the same thing.
Yeah,
No one. Like we all have our own experiences, but we feel so present. Like we can feel connected when we're letting the experience fully flow through the body. So that's
yeah.
so beautiful. I felt so much nature. I
Mhm.
think I said that too. It's like we connect to nature so fast when we connect heart to heart. It's so fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the other thing that struck me about it was I wasn't pretending to be something I'm not. So you
Mm.
said, "Would you like to guide it?" And I was like, "No," because that's not something I
I
normally
love
do.
that.
I don't normally guide people into dropping into their bodies in that way.
Mm,
Again, I do it in my own way. I do it in a different way. And so I was like, no, I would love it if you would guide it though. It
mm,
would be lovely. And then you did, and it's perfect. But I felt a little acknowledgement from myself, like,
mm.
oh, good, you didn't, say yes, I'll do it. And then go do something that isn't exactly how you express yourself. Like there was like a, yay, you stayed with yourself,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yes,
Um,
because we're so used to I feel like, but just because you're good at something doesn't mean you f feel safe doing it or feel fulfilled doing it.
right.
I mean, I did that in corporate for a long time. I was really good with talking to clients to the company that didn't pay in time. Like you're so good at it. You have all this money, and I'm like, oh, I'm suffocating. Like I'm so fed up with this task, but I'm
Yeah.
doing it. That
Yeah.
is not what we're doing here.
Yes. That reminds me of the phrase, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true.
So,
So so good.
okay.
Thank you for not leading the drop
You are
in.
so welcome.
Thank you. Funny.
Super.
So we spoke of like there's often that we don't know what we're going to speak of or about when we do these calls or these episodes. And because that is how life is. It's always shifting and changing and we think well, like we could talk about this topic, but then again we're like we're here and now and we embracing what is. But that's something that felt very what's the word, like a topic that is very good to embrace now is a self-acceptance, because that is, I feel, something that's for me has been a journey, embracing my person, my human, um, and that has been such a beautiful experiences when that is something that I choose to do.
It reminds me of blog posts that I've written over the last decade where I'll go back to one and be like, wow,
Mm.
I was right there on, I had my finger on it, like more self-love, more self-love, more self-love. And then you get busy and you move into this and that, and you get distracted by this and you get upset by that, or you get doubtful about this or that. And so I love just that reminder. That is the thread that has been woven through the last decade. And
Mm.
it is the thing that I keep circling back to all the time. Like I might get tempted by other modalities or something's interesting over here, or oh, I love describing it from the science here or the whatever. But um, no, it just comes back to that self-kindness. I really love the self-kindness, and that has really landed with me even more than self-love.
Yeah.
Just how to be kind to yourself. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's like because we were talking about self-love, and that is such a love is something that we have either experienced the purity of, or it's a concept, and it's taken a little bit too much form. Like I speak of formlessness so that I can be present with something, and that expands my field, and I don't feel so um it just feels different for me how how I phrase things. And then we said self-kindness, and it just tweaked it a little bit, and it became so much more softer. I mean, I am not a very good at always being so, "Oh, I'm so wonderful," and I have many days of self-doubt, or what am I doing? And then I have more days of joy and feeling fulfilled and received, because I think that is like the very big thing is to how much do you receive of yourself? How much do you receive your experiences? How much do you thank for the things that you are moving through in life? I mean, I can feel my body is just like, yeah, that's it. Receive experiences. Let the body express and gratefully receive it in the body. And that is such a, that is self-loving, but it's the doing part is a be self-kind. Does it make sense?
Yeah, and to me that was coming up in there's something about self-kindness that feels more achievable
Yeah.
than self-love,
Mm,
because I started to see all these examples of when I'm too hard on myself, but I think that's good for me in some way. I'm realizing it's not necessarily kind. Or
mm,
even if parts of me are having some kind of temper tantrum over something not being the way I want it, I can
mm,
now realize, well, you're not really being kind to yourself because you're staying in an energy of resistance, or you're staying in an energy that doesn't feel very good. And that's
mm,
not very kind. So for some reason I can access it through kindness in a way that sometimes when people talk about self-love or your higher self, it just that always felt a little grandiose, or a little my version of a higher self was always even a little judgmental of me, which is
mm.
not at all what our
And
higher
out
self
there.
is.
Yeah.
But my higher self is perfect. So
Yeah. It's woo.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I would always be like, yeah, my higher self would totally be doing this differently.
Mm,
But with self-kindness, I can even catch that voice and be like, that's not very kind to say that
yeah.
to yourself. Like, why would you say that to yourself? That's not very kind.
So much more
So
nurturing.
very much more.
Yeah.
And I've had a hard time accessing nurturing just
Mm,
because I've been very cynical, very closed, very sarcastic, very kind of tough,
yeah.
in that like nothing's gonna bother me way. So to find nurturing, psh, nurturing, you
Yeah,
know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can totally I can see that in myself as well. And then but now it's such a different way. Like so much more softer,
Hmm.
much more accepting of things and myself not knowing how to do things and there's a little like ongoing balance between uh, I can do this and figure it out. And then, no, 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 no. Be here and become the very version or become that which this unfolds for, because you will get all the help, all the resources you need, but become what you want to experience. Become the
Hmm.
experience. And that is like, oh, and then it's like so still. It's not, almost a sacred silence, and I become uh, more of myself. It's more easeful. It's much more. I do things in presence more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I heard in that was letting go of sort of that fix it, figure it out mentality where the mind
Yeah.
comes up with a plan and says, I'm going to do it this way.
Hmm.
It's kind of letting go of that. Is that what you mean by?
Yeah, but it's like I see things in different levels of consciousness. So there's several layers of separation consciousness, which is part of, I figured that out, I'm capable and I can reason with this. But then it's like a part where you connect to all that is and you trust that it will unfold for you. And some people have called it divine timing, but it's like divine timing is being in your divinity, which is right here in the moment. And your your will, so to speak, like it's my will or my expanded self's will. Is will the right word?
Hmm.
I'm just
Sure.
saying it's like this sounds so funny in my head, but it's like
Hmm.
so that is like knowing it's here. It just hasn't materialized for me yes yet, but I feel very uh, convinced is the word maybe, but I feel it's here. Like
Hmm.
it's no separation between me and that which I want, which to experience more of it, which is like joy and prosperity and oneness and um, like being part of nature is that I feel.
Hmm. And might you still take the same actions or follow the same path? You're just now doing it from a different energy?
Yeah. Um, I feel it's like in life. Sorry, I'm looking outside, but it's to to know what I'm feeling into what I want to say. But it's like the whole life has been searching for something that I didn't feel. That's is called being a seeker, right? But then it's like it's home. So it's here. So the external life, it reflects what's here. But also it's not that it looks totally different, but it is I can view it with it from a lens of wholeness. Not every day or a
Hmm.
second, but I view it from a lens of wholeness and I can see that then people's different uh, survival patterns become very like it's a loving way of viewing life. It just feels different.
Hmm.
It's another experience of how you perceive life. It's where your yeah lens or the way you perceive things it cleanses like it's cleansed more and you can feel more love in your heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of a miracle is just a shift in perception, which
Yeah.
is the A Course in Miracles quote. Um, And I guess my mind is kind of sifting through what you're saying when it comes to like a specific example of something that we're moving through in life or
Mm,
experiencing or wanting to experience. I really resonate when you said, I've always been looking for something that I wanted to feel. Like,
mm.
oh, yeah. Like
Yeah.
that's really what it's all been. It's always been like I don't feel the way I want to feel. And what like I feel like I still say that on certain days at certain times. And there's
Yeah.
it's like a resistance. Um but what and I understand what you're saying is and it's here. It's not outside of me. It's not something
Mm.
I'm going to go find in a book, a course, or a person, or a job, or a health status, or any of those things.
It can
It's
become that.
right. It can
Yeah.
become that, but it
Yeah.
starts here. It comes from
Yeah.
in here, as
Yeah.
opposed to trying to access it through an effort or a force, or is that what you're saying? From
Yeah.
outside of you?
It's a difference between being the experience or if I do this, this is the outcome.
Right.
Because that is still mind. It's I have this idea that I think will have this turnout, but being the experiences surprise me. Um, which is a way, I mean, this podcast
Hmm.
is a surprise me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like I love this where we're sitting here and we speak of self-kindness and self-acceptance. That is such a beautiful topic. And we didn't plan it. It's just something that we are receiving. We are receiving as we speak of it, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is
Yeah. You just said something that like made my mind just go completely blank. Thank you.
my pleasure.
Um, yeah. What
It doesn't matter really.
I guess
I
it doesn't
mean,
matter.
yeah, we don't have thoughts.
Oh, surprise me. Yeah. That is again, that is it's that's a challenge for me to um on really embrace that sometimes. The surprise me. My mind has been so my mind really loves like let me figure it out and work towards an outcome. It loves that
Yeah.
so much.
Mm.
Like it just wants to do that over and over again. Um and then surprise me feels a little terrifying.
Yeah, it does. The good thing about being the consciousness of an experience is I can feel how loving consciousness is. I can also feel where I respond with that is like I can feel my nervous system is like this is a really high frequency life. Are
Mm,
you sure you can hold this?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And my nervous system is like, no, I don't think so yet. So I have to be very kind to my body, not to say, yeah, say yes, say yes. I have to wait for the body to approve because the body opens when it opens. But the
Yeah.
more self-loving or self-kind I am towards myself, the more my body is actually communicating with me. And it's more a co-creative merge that happens, like where the body and I are one team, like it's us.
Yeah. Well, and you're making me wonder if my approach then has just been like my version of self-kindness because the approach I've been taking is something I enjoy and
Mm.
it does feel like lovely and pleasant and expansive in a way that my nervous system can kind of get on board with each next level. Like, okay,
Mm.
here I am. As opposed to having it move through all at once. I have heard people say that that could blow your circuits if you
Yeah.
really let in all the light that's available all at once. I think I've mentioned that on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Um, so, but you're giving me a bit of a reframe because there's a part of me that would judge myself for kind of taking the slow path or the very, like, I'm going to go this level and then that level, like,
Mm.
taking the steps, but um, always kind of with the almost like the crutches of a book or a course or a coach or a mentor or something like always kind of using those tools around me. But why
Yeah.
not? Why not
Yeah.
if that is what feels supportive as I'm going through the process? Um,
Yeah, and also like one modality is fun for a while maybe, and then you're
yeah,
like, no, no, I'm done with that modality because you integrated it.
yes.
Like
And
the yeah.
And I think for a while, I judged that as, oh, you can't even stick with this thing. You
Yeah.
can't stick with that thing. You can't. And then I started to realize I also just love variety. I love to move
Mm,
into new ideas. I love learning new things. I love approaching things from different angles. I love
yeah.
complexity. Like my mind has fun with that. It's like doing puzzles all day.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I am that way too, but then it was like a shift in myself that was because I always like it must be an easier way. It must be like I felt that all the time. It's like you have to work with your subconscious, you have to work with, you have to do this. Not like there's too many rules for my system because it's like I can never achieve all that. It didn't feel right in my system, which is not everybody else's system. And then it was like, it's all here. What do you want to focus upon? It's all here. And I'm like, oh, that is good for my system.
yeah,
It's already here. And
yeah,
and if that is seem eventful less and not fun, then we don't have to do it that way. For
yeah,
me, it's such a relief.
yeah.
I had a
Yes.
yeah, because I was talking to a woman this morning, and I kind of mentor her, but I don't. I can feel like we're so the same, and we were talking, and she said. This is such a it in one part was a very sacred moment, and she's like, this is so slow. Yeah, it's very challenging for the one who wants to evolve. But that is the very moment she's been waiting for. That very moment right there is the thing that she's been waiting for, maybe for lifetimes, but her whole life. And then after that, he was like, it's like, oh, now I understand. Yeah, something was decoded in her system, which is a miracle in itself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you were speaking, I was connecting with the idea that yes, I like variety and yes, I like figuring things out and trying to explain things. And part of that is fun for me.
Mm,
And I think this is what you're articulating. There are times where I agree it's not possible to incorporate, integrate all the different teachings, ideas. There's just too much. I mean,
mm,
it's not, which on the one hand always made me feel better that there's no one way. So I'm
mm,
not missing something because there's no one way. It's not possible. And then lately I've been having the thought, it's probably in the moments that you think you're doing nothing that kind of like what you just said about the slow, that those are the moments where most is happening. So I think I'm doing the most when I'm putting my attention on it, focusing on it, and trying to get somewhere. But the real moment is probably, when I'm sitting outside, looking at the sun, or I was just describing to you that all of our trees right now are covered with ice because it rained last night, but then the sun is shining through them, and it's just incredible. It's beautiful. And just taking moments to gaze at that is
mm.
probably when most is happening. Whereas I think it's when I'm, deep in a book or a course or learning something. And
Yeah.
it's probably not that way.
Yeah, but I think it's all of it.
All of it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all of it because you're all those other things are experiences of, oh, when I'm doing this, this happens. Oh, cool, because I'm a spirit in a body, and I cannot do that when
Yeah.
I'm not in a body. But then it's also the like the soul's expansion in a way, and that is something I become more aware of it in the
Mm.
stillness.
Yeah.
or the initiation parts, or
Yeah.
like, so I think everything is really important.
And maybe part of the difference, though, is not feeling like you need it to get to an outcome
Mm.
because it's going to unfold and it's going to unfold, period. Like, end
Life
of
is
story.
anyway.
It
Yeah.
is, right. And so you don't have to do it any one way. And everything, like you said, everything that you do is part of it. Which again helps me discern when sometimes something comes up and I think, oh, that's something that would be helpful to get myself to an outcome or move down the road or whatnot. But if there's any kind of constriction around that, or like you said, it just doesn't feel good to the system because you're like,
Mm.
oh, do I really need that to move forward? And I think what I hear you saying is it's here now, so you don't need anything
Mm.
necessarily. And if it
It's
feels
all that
better
is.
to, and if it feels better to your system to let that go,
Mm.
then to keep thinking that there's a middleman, that I need this to get there,
Mm.
it that's not true, is what
It's
I'm
not true,
hearing
but
you
it's
say.
also the middleman can look like Steve Smith. I don't know, but it can look like that. You're like, oh yeah, you didn't know that that body and that human existed, but all of a sudden you are in co-creative space for like 2 minutes or a lifetime. But
Yeah.
it's like, oh, cool. But you created it. Like it's a part of co-creative space.
Well, and I'm dying that you just said Steve because that is my husband. So,
Oh, really? It's not Smith though.
and it has felt like a lifetime.
A
Just,
toast
just
to,
did it.
to
Just,
Steve.
just Steve.
We
Thank
love
you.
you, Steve.
Thank you, honey. Yeah. So yes. And that's like, I think what I was trying to get to when I said, when I was saying that the actions can sometimes look the same, but where you're coming from is different. So sometimes you can think, oh, I need that course to move forward. And
Mm,
it's like, no, you don't. You might move forward anyway. But oh, this course might come up, and in
yeah.
your experience of it, it adds something as you're going through it. So the action might look the same, but it's kind of, are you letting it in with the energy of, oh, I need this to get somewhere, or are you really just letting it in as part of the unfolding? Does that make
Yes.
sense?
The joy of it.
The joy of it.
The
Yeah, the
very joy to
fun.
experience that course.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to, because I'm feeling it in my system right now because I've always got a couple things that I want to take because
Mm,
I don't know, I love doing that. And I can feel it. There's a part of me that feels like I want to know what they're teaching because part of me feels like I need to know that. I need to hear how they explain it. But that feels heavy. That feels
yeah.
heavy to think that I'm not going to get where I want to go unless I take that, which is not true. Like, so I know
Yeah.
that's not true. So then it's, does the energy change into, oh, I just want to experience that because
Mm.
that's different. That's totally different.
Yeah, but it's like uh the journey is to remember that we are of source, right? Like we remember who we are. And that can look different for everybody. But then it's like while I'm on this journey as a human, this feels fun. This feels fun because life is always coming with, yeah, but you have this to experience too, and this is not very joyous maybe in your system. And you're like, it's it helps me to remember more of who I am, or it repels it, the very experience. So you can, that's an ongoing, what do you call that thing on the playground that is like
Seesaw,
seesaw? Yeah.
seesaw. Yeah,
Mm. So it's like do more things that brings you light and joy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that framework, and sometimes I forget to use that as the guide.
Mm.
Um, because the mind again is popping in with all these kind of like a pros and cons list, but not from
Yeah.
the soul, not from the energy. It's more from the mind. So I love that to sit with just in what ways, because I'm feeling this one particular course that it's just been in the back of my mind for a while. I keep thinking, yeah, I want to take that. I want to take that. But whenever I think about it, it just feels heavy. It's
Oh,
like it's not, it doesn't seem like it would be really fun. And that's when I can tell in my system that there's a part of me that just thinks somehow I need to know that, but it doesn't feel like the experience would be fun. It feels like it would be more of a chore. And that's kind of my indication that that might not be the right thing for me.
yeah.
Um,
But also, a course can be very vibrant. But from where you're taking your decision, it's
yeah,
not the vibrant, um, resonant part of you with
yeah.
that course. So maybe she needs a little TLC.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The part that thinks that course um,
Is
is
turning out to
compelling.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
The very, because she doesn't have to take it, but she is in a separation
yeah.
consciousness, um, thought form right
Yes,
there, like, or an
yes.
idea of a person, and we still have her in the body, and it's like, oh, there you are.
Yes, welcome.
Self-kindness. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is the word that's been coming up a lot this week is just thought distortions. Like
Oh, yeah.
just the I recognizing that the part of me that wants to do that thing, that it's not the thing that's the issue. It's the thought distortion that's telling me all the reasons why I think I need to do that thing.
And that
Um,
creates the feelings of heaviness. It's not
exactly.
that thing, it's the
Yes.
thought forms. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. And those are so fun to catch. Like when you finally
Yeah.
start catching them, you're like, oh, I see that. I
Mm.
catch it.
Yeah.
I um because it's yeah, it's really it's just such a deeper level of clarity, which my system appreciates.
Yeah.
It's very calming to
So conscious.
realize that
Yeah.
it's just my thought that's turning things backwards, um, not the circumstance that I was concerned with.
Yeah.
So, which is so interesting. And like bringing it back to self-kindness, when we can catch it, you can tell that it's not self-kindness to have some of these thought forms, to have some of these, and then you can start catching the thought forms and the distortions and being like, that's not kind. That's not a kind thought. Um, that's an urgency thought. That's a panicky thought. That's a not good enough thought. That's a, you have to fix this or else you'll never be happy. Like that's
Mm.
not kind. That's not a kind thought.
And the kind thing is catching it. You're
Exactly.
right there. It's so beautiful. I can feel this conversation is very, it's like a warm embrace.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Thank you.
is
Mm.
interesting because many of the comments I've been getting about you on our podcast
Mm.
have been they made me feel like you are a warm embrace. So I thought I would share that with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
If I was going to put a description on what it's like to talk to you, that's what it's like.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
it's funny that you just used those words because that's I was actually thinking that earlier this week.
Oh, that's nice. And but I can also feel your energy. It's the same. We together, I can feel that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy
Which is so
to
funny
have.
because when I was growing up, there was a book called The Warm Fuzzies and the Cold Pricklies,
Okay.
and I always identified with the cold prickly,
Oh,
not the warm fuzzy. So that's interesting. But thank you. Yeah.
my pleasure. And I'm so happy we're doing this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And so I guess that's probably a good place to end for
Yeah.
today. Um,
Self-kindness,
self-kindness
more
and
acceptance of self.
yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
Um,
Thank you.
thank you. Until
See you
next
next week.
time. All right,
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Two Women, One Heart. We hope something here opened up a little space in you or reminded you of what's already true. We're all learning to live from that awareness together. This podcast is part of the practice of remembering for us too. If this episode was meaningful, please subscribe or leave a review. It helps us to reach others. And if someone you love would benefit from this conversation, we'd love it if you'd pass it along. If we mentioned any links or resources, you can find them in the show notes. Until next time, be kind to yourself and stay curious. What if this moment were already enough? We'll talk soon.